Hello everyone. Prince Harry, get me out of here. Who's calling for help? Harry. Oh, what a surprise. I thought he was happily living with his kind wife Meghan and two beautiful children. It has taken him a very long time to realize what is going on. However, this particular incident that occurred not too long ago, as the show was being taped for the Sunday morning show on CBS, did in fact cause a disagreement behind the scenes. And when I tell you the next part of the tale, you will realize exactly why Harry and Meghan are, if we may use that phrase, at odds with one another on the path that they want their future to take. It's remarkable because, as we all know, there was a clear disagreement between Harry and Meghan on that show, but it wasn't there. She continued gripping his leg like it was a side of ham, and she didn't let go of it after she won it in a raffle. This is something that makes it interesting. Everything starts to feel a little bit tiring. And because I worked in the music industry, I am familiar with their techniques. When we were in pop groups, we would always urge the girls that they should make sure to touch each other, hold hands, smile, and act as if they were the best of friends. They harbored a deep-seated hatred for one another behind the scenes. They were all competing for the top slot, a lengthier position on the record, the main song, and anything else you can think of. Therefore, I am able to witness all of the stunts as they are being performed. Believe me, it is Meghan's belief that she is a talented actress. Sister, I am aware of you. I'm able to comprehend. In addition, it is easy to comprehend why Prince Harry would have wanted to maintain a low profile in this matter. As is customary, a source affiliated with Bell Play asserts that he did not wish for the article to be published. Oh, I'm sorry. It's true that this story is the one in question, the one that discussed Meghan's own personal, if we may use that phrase, dreadful dark moment. You are probably familiar with the one that reportedly showed itself in the Royal Albert Hall, where she was crying throughout the entire performance. On the other hand, when you take a closer look at the video, it does not appear to be like that at all. But on the other hand, it may be me. Cataracts could be the cause. Who will know? On the other hand, this was the issue that needed to be addressed. In addition, he did not want it to be included in the video since he did not want the plot to be discussed. To put it another way, he is attempting to make things as easy as possible, which is why he did not want it to present itself, for the reason that, as stated by a source, he is aware that he has gone too far. One of the reasons why there is not yet a paperback edition of Spare is because of this particular concern. You should know that he is aware of the fact that he is unable to return to England as a result of the things that he has stated. When he makes statements in tabloid stories about how he believes that this has been a contributing factor to his rift, he is demonstrating his own stupidity towards himself. I want to know if Harry publishes Spare Part 2. Will you read it? If so, comment number 1. And if you are sure you will never read it, comment number 2, especially hesitant. Undecided comment number 3. To deflect attention away from himself, he is attempting to shift the burden for that to the tabloids. However, you must understand that the more significant issue at hand is the fact that, once again, the British monarchy did nothing to assist his wife Meghan Markle when she was going through the most difficult time in her life. The moment he reached that point, he began to grimace, mostly due to the fact that, for whatever reason, Harry is the only person who genuinely knows the truth. In addition, he has been attempting to do something, and I believe here is where things start to get interesting, which is that he would like to make some sort of formal move back. I am not referring to a permanent arrangement, but I would like to suggest that you make an effort to establish some form of communication. It is clear that Meghan is unconcerned. You should know that she is moving forward with her own plans and plans for her life, and she is moving forward with making her own moves. That is something that you can do. However, you must understand that he is aware of the fact that at some point in time, things could not necessarily be going according to the way that he had planned for them to. This great freedom flight, everything they were going to do, including taking on the world and being difficult with journalists. None of it worked out. It was there on the television that the realization occurred. However, Meghan, who was more powerful than ever before, continued to bury the story that made him feel uneasy within him. In addition, this is the reason why Harry has given you the thunder phase. Certainly, they've both gone too far. People don't believe them anymore. People don't like them anymore. Glad he's finally realized it. She never will. The days of what Meghan wants. Meghan gets her almost over, thank goodness. Or do you think she would be so stubborn that it's not over until old Meghan gets her hands on Harry's next inheritance from the Queen Mother? He will also give it to her just to shut her up for a few days. Maybe he's not the brightest bulb in the pack and has always thought with his toddler, frozen or not. So I don't believe he's realized anything yet. Harry needs to finally wake up and understand that we don't want either of them anymore. Brainless, no hope for him. He will be reluctant to leave her because she is vicious and has something on him that he does not want to be aired. A filthy video, perhaps. To be honest, I'm not so sure he'd be ashamed. Isn't he the guy who was photographed holding onto his family jewels in Las Vegas and published in the Inquirer? Does he have any shame? He was showing more than the family jewels. He was photographed with two very young prostitutes. He gave his underwear to a prostitute in Las Vegas who went public and showed his black underwear. Do hope she washed it. He would have an unpleasant odor. He is known to not have the greatest hygiene. She lied to him and told him how wonderful it was going to be in Hollywood and how rich they would be if he would just lie and betray his much-respected family and tell the world what horrible people they were. He believed her. She actually even believed in her own lie, and at 43, still hoping for a breakthrough. I believe that we, both you and I, never mistreat your family members or allow others to do it to them. The lack of compassion and disrespect from Harry and Meghan towards the royal family has been incredibly disappointing, as they are adults. He unfortunately can't wish it away, so he must man up to the consequences of his actions. From the past to the present, Harry still lies. His recent interview on ITV indicates he's comfortable with lying, but he wants back his old life as nothing's working out now. He's blaming everybody else but himself, because that's the way Harry is, never accountable for his own actions. It's a shame he didn't feel the same about callously and deceptively accepting the Pat Tillman Award and the living legend of aviation. How does divorcing her minimize or take away from his cruelty, lies, bullying, and the attacks leveled over the last few years? And how would that erase the memory of the disrespect and cruelty shown to our late Queen and Prince Philip? I am sure there are plenty of therapists in Southern California. It seems every Hollywood celebrity goes to a therapist. So why don't Harry and Meghan seek professional therapy? They both have mommy issues and both need to grow up. I wish the next interview they do, they have a camera that is solely aimed at her hand. Could you imagine? She would look like she was doing Morse code for shut your mouth. Harry, of course, I don't believe for a second Markle ever had a thought of suicide in her head. Narcs don't harm themselves, and for the notion that the royal family didn't get her help is also baloney. Why didn't her husband get her help as soon as possible? I think Meghan can realize that nobody really likes or cares about anything she's involved in, and it's only going to get worse. They have done all of it to themselves. Can you imagine being so full of yourself that you ruin your own lives? Meghan used that angle to manipulate Harry, and he fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. He has gone along with the abuse of his family and has to take responsibility for his own actions. What's infuriating about Harry is that he whines, grimaces, smirks, and looks miserable. Yet he never does anything to change his situation. He doesn't tell the truth. He never contradicts the wife's lies. He's become a lackey when once he was a prince. He's preaching to parents about being the first responder when he himself didn't respond to her. He probably knew deep down it was just her faking it, acting and manipulation. After all, there is no real future for the two of them. They have blown it. She will forever be a former D-list actress and failed entrepreneur, and he will be a former prince who has alienated his country, family, and friends, and will live a solitary life of remembering how good he had it, but blew it. And insofar as the story that monarchy didn't help his mental wife. He failed her first, and that she said she had no help doesn't make it true. Either way, Meghan and Harry are still clinging to each other every day. I understand why. That is her way of saying, I have secret plans to spend Harry's inheritance that he will receive in September on his 40th birthday. Everyone voted on comments that Harry's inheritance needs to stay in the UK until the trusted family can discuss how best Harry can invest it for his children. Let's show Harry we all have a vested interest in Harry's children and Harry's mental health, since Meghan is doing her best not to allow Harry to make his own decisions. Harry's next book might be titled Spare's Confessions, or Asking Thomas Markle's Permission, or How the Surrogate Process, or Fitting into a California Lifestyle, or Single-Handedly Destroying the Monarchy. Mixing the writing with a little bit of fiction might acceptably cover up lies. Any more ideas? If Harry's life is an open book, Harry's fans might make suggestions or guide him in a better direction. Meghan's domination certainly hasn't served Harry well. All of my explanations have been presented here. Do you agree with what I have provided? Feel free to share your opinions with me in the comments section on this page. I deeply appreciate you taking the time to watch my video. Do not overlook showing your support for us by liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel. Goodbye. We will see each other again soon.